We are live. We are live. Welcome,
Right.
everybody. Sunday night with special guest, horror icon. Ken, how's things going out there with you?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Just staying in the house, trying to stay out of trouble, watching plenty of horror movies.
Gotta,
That, and I've been watching Power. Rewatching Power. It's 50 Cent show. I love it. It's based out of New York. Great thing.
All right.
Uh,
Sounds great.
Liz says, "Good evening, Sergeant Ken. Welcome, Liz."
Good evening, Liz.
Scott says, "Hey, Sarge. Hey, Ken."
Hey, Scott.
Now, the other day I did watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3. And how was it working on that project?
Oh, man. Jesus, it's so long ago. Uh, great, great, great. Um, a lot of rattlesnakes around the set. We shot behind Magic Mountain, and there were just rattlesnakes every night, and you had to watch where you're going, and they were corralling them and skinning them every night. So that was a little adventurous. No backstory. Um, well, why don't we? I got some stories about some of my latest stuff. People want to hear some stories about that.
Shoot, yeah.
Okay, let's do that. I just for fun, why not have a little fun with this? I I shot a film in many years ago called Zone of the Dead, and I shot it in Serbia. And I worked out and I ran and I did my usual workout to prepare for a film, make sure I'm, in shape I sometimes fall in and out of shape. I eat a lot of ice cream sometimes. So I'm not always as diligent as I should be or disciplined. And so I ran and did my number and everything. I was working with someone, person that was running lines with me from an acting class. And eventually they said, after a month or so, they said, "Gee, Ken, you're looking great." I said, "Oh, really? Oh, that's good. I'm losing weight. Good." So another guy that I worked on a film with maybe a year before that at a convention, and he said, "Listen, I didn't want to say anything, but are you all right?" I said, "Sure, I'm all right. What's wrong?" He said, "Well, man, I thought you were sick. You were so thin." I said, "Oh, this is really working well. I'm ready to go." I get to Serbia. And everything was looking great, except I had this huge pouch on the stomach. And they gave me this kind of spandex shirt, which made it even look bigger. And I said, give me a jacket immediately. I need something to cover this. And it was incredible. So anyway, just to move on with the story, when the film came out, didn't get great reviews, but one of the reviewers said about me, they said, "Oh my God, please tell Ken Foree he's no longer an action hero." I said,
Oh,
"Oh,
no.
oh." I was so angry. I said, "Oh, this won't happen again." So anyway, a couple of years later, I go back to Serbia. We shoot a film that's playing on Amazon now called The Rift. And I knew at this point I had to up my game a little bit because apparently what I was doing before wasn't working. So I started to really hit the gym. I did a lot of work. I worked very, very hard on it, and so I was ready to go. And 2 weeks before I'm going to make this trip, um, I'm hitting a bag in the gym, and one of the coaches and one of the guys I coach with and work with, we work out together. He was on one bag, and the place was just full of all the bags were taken, except for one next to him. And I said, "I don't have a place to warm up." He said, "Well, warm up here. You can warm up next to me. Just warm up on the bag." I said, "Oh, why not?" So I'm warming up, and about the third round or something like that, he started throwing four or five punch combinations. And of course, the adrenaline started to flow, and I said, "Oh, okay." And I'm So I'm going through a 4 or 5 punch combination, 6 punch combination. And I made a pivot and my knee went, eek. Oh, crap. So I had to go to Serbia. And I had to go to Serbia with this bum knee. But I knew, I said, okay, maybe when I get there, well, let me just move it up. I get there and we had a discussion with the director. And he said, I said, listen, I hurt my knee a little bit. If we don't have to do anything, you know, too active, you know, too athletic for a day, I'll be okay. He said, okay, you know, I'll be all right. You know. So we didn't do anything that day. We did shoot, but it was, you know, minor stuff, you know, this outside stuff, nothing good. The next day, we were shooting by a river in Pančevo, which is right outside of Belgrade. And hello, Belgrade. Hello, Pančevo. And so we were shooting by this river, and it was at night. We were using flashlights, and I stepped into a gopher hole. And the knee went again. And from that point on, I had both knees that were hurting. I had to wrap knees in elastic bandages every night. They were sending me to electrode guys that were giving me, you know, putting in the electrode, the currents through my knees, and giving me braces. And somebody was giving me, I went to the doctor, he was giving me pills because he said I had, it would help grow the cartilage. I stopped taking that. I said, I don't want to grow another ear. I don't know what this guy is giving me. And eventually, so, you know, I wouldn't say macho, but I'd like to, you know, take care of myself. You know, I'm from a certain place, and I'm from the Midwest, industrial town, Indianapolis, Indiana. I'll leave it there, right? So guys, Serbian guys are saying to me, hey, can we help you, Ken? Can we help you up the stairs? Can we help you get up there? Get away from me. No, you can't help me. Leave me alone. I didn't really, you know, I was nice to them. I said, no, thank you. But, you know, it's kind of embarrassing to have guys trying to help me up like I was, you know, a damsel in distress or something. I said, no. Anyway, long story short, I get, and I'm thinking, I'm later I started thinking about the woman with that review about not an action hero. You know, I said, I wish you could see this fraud. Anyway, that bad thing to call it, this woman. So I'm wrapping both knees. It got to a point where I am we're driving from Pančevo on the way to Belgrade, but in the mornings because we shot at night. And I'm bent over, just biting my fingers, and so I don't scream. I'm in so much pain. People give me pills like crazy. You know, nothing's working. And I'm taping up. I had 2 elastic bandages, big ones, for this knee, 2 for this knee, and I'm getting through it, but it's a lot of pain. I think the first week we're there shooting. We're shooting out in the yard. It's an action scene. My leading lady breaks her leg. Yeah. That's the first thing. So during the rest of the shoot, she's doing all of her stuff on one leg, and then she falls out of frame. And if you see her again walking, it's the double walking for her. Wow. And so we stopped calling it the rift. And we started calling the film the limp. So that's a show. So that's on Amazon, guys. You want to see me on, and as a matter of fact, towards the end of the film, I have to run through a foundry chasing this kid, and my legs were feeling great. I did a sprint like nobody's business. I was feeling wonderful, but that was the end of the film at that point. I have one that just came out called John Henry, and with Terry Crews and Ludacris and enough cast of other good actors, and it got some. I think the reviewers kind of scorched us, and there are many reasons why, budget and some of the some issues that had nothing to do with the actors or just some problems. But we got scorched, really scorched, in terms of the film. And so, it was okay. I said, okay, well, that's not, don't worry about that. I get a call from the guys, and he says, one of the actors, he says, listen, John Henry is on Netflix. I said, okay. I'm not, I had Netflix, but I didn't have it. I'm not quite, I don't think I had it at that point. I think I got Netflix at that point. But he said, John Henry's on Netflix. And we're number 3 or number 1 to 2 or something. And we were in the top 10. I think we were number 1 or just slipped from 1 to 2. And I said, okay, I didn't think that it meant that much. And the reviews were still horrible, but we stayed at number 5. I mean, from number 1 to number 5, the first week and a half almost. We slipped to number 7 the second week. The top 10. We stayed for a long time. Now, everyone gave us these horrible reviews. Variety, who had given us a review already, contacted the producers of the film and did an interview saying, we want to talk to you about your fantastic hit that's now on Netflix. This great hit that you have. And I said, only in Hollywood could this happen. This is a film that got panned everywhere. The fans didn't like it. It was viewers didn't like it. It just got horrible reviews. And only in Hollywood now does it turn around. And just because it's on Netflix in the top 10 and stayed there, I don't know why, but I guess there's somebody liked it. They now are turning around from their bad review and saying, we have to interview you about your great, fantastic hit that's now starring in the top 10 on Netflix. Hollywood Stories. Okay.
But when did John Henry, did you shoot that?
We shot that a year or 2 ago, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was coming up on Netflix, suggested like crazy. It was like Netflix was about to hold me down and make me watch that joint.
Hey, I'm telling you, it stayed there for a long time. It stayed in the top 10 longer than some films that were highly acclaimed and had great reviews stayed on the top 10. I don't understand it. You get, it's one of those weird kind of Hollywood stories where you're sitting back and you're saying, you're having a few scotch and you say, let me tell you a story about how crazy our business is. Boom, there's one for you.
How was it working with Ludacris? Because Ludacris has always been a positive influence to me.
I didn't have any scenes with Ludacris. I didn't have any scenes with him. He only shot at certain. We didn't shoot on the same days. I didn't have scenes. I shot with Terry, JJ, Jamila, that kind of stuff. Those people.
Yeah,
which were all great.
He used to sell before he became, the famous Ludacris. He was selling them mixtapes out the back of the trunk of his car, and he was moving more units than a lot of artists that were signed to major labels. That's a heck of entrepreneurial spirit.
It's a Mark Cuban story, baby. It's a Mark Cuban story, certainly. Get out there and hustle. Go knock door to door. You got to sell. I heard Mark Cuban say, I lived on mustard and tomato sandwiches for a long time. Long time. Not in tomato, ketchup. No. So, yeah, that's about it. What else is going on? Tell me. Hit me. I'm hot.
The other thing that yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
This?
Yeah, show it to
her. This is a film. Whoa, let's see. Okay, got it right about. Wait a minute. Let me get this right, boy. Okay, right there. This is a film. Maybe it's better here. Yeah. Let's see, we'll go this way. There we go. Yeah, that's a film called The Wanderers. The Wanderers. You ever hear of it?
Nope.
So no, it was a long time. Ken Wall was in it. A lot of people who went on to do a lot of great things. Wonderful film, woman, casting woman by the name of Joy Todd in New York. And it was when there used to be a time when I could walk down the street on 57th Street and go and knock on an agent's door and walk right in and talk to them. You can't do that anymore, but you used to. And Joy Todd was very nice to me. She called me one day and said, "Can you get out to, I think this is in Long Island, a syndicate leader, leader of a syndicate, the head of a syndicate." I said, "Sure, anytime. When? Now. I'm on my way." So I went out and did. I think I did 2 days of that, or 1 day maybe, and interesting work. Remember just how fast things can happen in my business. You know, get a call, boom, you're there immediately.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Now, we were talking before. I asked you about Harlem in the late '60s and '70s, and you had mentioned about Frank Lucas, the American gangster. His life
Oh
story.
man! Oh God! Can I tell you? Let's talk. Let's talk. We were in. I was in Harlem in the '68 period of the time, 1968, somewhere around there. And and Dwayne Jones was there, 67, 68, in that time. And, you know, there were a lot of things going on. One was the civil rights movement, of course. And I think we'll get into a little bit of that a little bit later. But one thing that I noticed, when I lived on 116th Street on Morningside Avenue, which is 2 blocks from 8th Avenue and 116th Street. So you turn the corner, go up 2 blocks and you're at 8th Avenue. It's a subway station right there. You go down, catch a train, go local, going north and south. Just as you get to the train station, there's a bar to the right, just over the train station entrance. And that bar was Frank Lucas's bar. Headquarters. Come out and shoot the guy. I think it shoots Evis. I think it shoots him. He comes out and shoots. That's the bar he comes out of, supposedly. That was his headquarters. I saw people mulling around that area from 116th Street and 8th Avenue to 112th, 110th Street back. And it was like watching herds of people. I would say 150 to 100 people, all waiting for that heroin to come in that Lucas was bringing in. I saw so many young people who lost their lives, who ruined their lives by this drug that was in it, because it was very potent. He was bringing it straight from Vietnam. It was everywhere. And I think the other guy was Nicky Barnes, was also a heavy drug dealer down in New York at the time. So they were competing with each other, and there was so much heroin in that area. I between those blocks from 116th Street from and Morningside to 116th Street and 8th Avenue. That's 2 blocks. You know, apartment buildings on both sides. You know, that kind of thing. I would say there were maybe 25 people, 23 or 24 people in there between the ages of 19 and 25, something like that. Most of them doing something with their lives, going to work every day, trying to go to school, whatever they were doing. They had something going. And I could tell you that very few of them got out of there. I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them just got their lives ruined by by Frank Lucas and that drug. It killed so many of them. And I saw, I watched around that area. I watched them shoot up. I was able to see them shoot up. I've seen them needing a fix, doing desperate and doing anything for a fix. Uh, I've lost a lot of people that were very. I lost a lot of people. Period. In that era, that just went for crazy reasons that weren't involved with drugs, but the people who went who lost their lives, went to jail, um, didn't progress, move on, and accomplish things in life. There were a lot of those who succumbed to that heavy heroin use, and it was everywhere. It ruined. It took out a generation or two in Harlem, and these were people that were basically upstanding young people who had a future and were nice people you would have liked to have met, for the most part. You know, I mean, there's always an asshole here and there, but I mean, basically, these were nice people, and because they sniffed something here, took something there, and had a little fun here and there. I used to say, dip and dabbed here and there. They got hooked, and it was downhill from that point on. And it used to be, I saw them with abscesses this big on their arms and their legs, with their feet were swollen. They had elephantitis, look like, in their ankles and their legs. You know what I mean? It looked like you'd have to cut their pants off of them. You couldn't squeeze them off because they were so tight. Their hands were swollen up like boxing gloves. So many needles. So it was a horrible, horrible time. So yeah, I was there for Frank Lucas. I was right there where he did all. But give me whoa. Here's first thing I see. I get to New York. My mother, my brothers, and I went to my aunt's house. She lived on 116th Street, Morningside Avenue, which was a great street. I mean, she had an eight-room apartment. When you get those kind of, it was a great place. And so we were there. My cousin was older, and we all looked up to him. He told me, he said, kid, and a buddy of his came by, Herbie Miller. I'll never forget. My cousin was Ron Rasdell. He was Herbie Miller, his buddy. He said, Herbie said, yeah, we want to go around the corner and have a malted. You want a malted? So I'm an ice cream nut. I said, heck yeah, malted? Great, let's have a malted. Yeah. So we walk around, we walk up to 8th Avenue. Like I said, it's 2 blocks up to 8th Avenue from Morningside Avenue, around 116th Street. And I get to the corner of 116th Street and 8th Avenue, and I turn, and there's this guy, the only white guy I could see anywhere. I turn, and this is white, red hair, very pale, very redhead guy. Okay, looked well, and he was in a nod where his head was almost down at his ankles. And I said, and I turned, I looked at him, and I walked over to him. Now my cousin, they're facing this way, and the guy's behind them, and I turn and leave them and come this way back towards this guy. And I said, Mister, are you okay? Can I help you? You all right? And my turned around and he said, Kenny, what are you doing? I said, this man, something's wrong with him. He might need to be a doctor. He looks like something wrong. He said, that's a junkie. I said, junkie. What is a junkie? Junkie? You mean dope fiend? He said, yeah. I said, oh, okay. So I walked back over to my cousin. He took me right across the street, he and his buddy, went to this ice cream parlor. And he told me, now watch. You see other people in here? It was kind of crowded. I said, yeah. And they were, it wasn't a place where you sat really. You kind of stood around and had your malted or your ice cream. I said, yeah. He said, watch it. He said, you see them using all the sugar? And they were putting sugar into that. I said, yeah. What is that? They're junkies. They love the sugar. They got to have the fix on sugar. What are they doing? And no kidding, that was my first introduction to Lucas's operation, to what was going on in Harlem at that time, and what I had just walked into. I'm coming from Colorado after being in high school. I didn't know very much. I've spent a little time in Chicago going to college. I didn't know very much there. Spent a little time in Indianapolis and then came there. So I was kind of green, you know. I didn't, you know,
Yeah.
I had my cousin was my cousin was into fashion. He also was a businessman, but he was in really, he was GQ, he was Gentleman's Quarterly. Absolutely, this guy. And we were going to go out one night. He said, you know, put on a sport coat or something. I got a sport coat. I put on something. He said, oh, no. He eventually took me, and we had another cousin that just got out of Vietnam. He was coming to New York and hanging out with us a lot, and he eventually moved there. But he took both of us and took us to Barney's, Sir George's. He changed our look. We were wearing English tweed, Burberry trench coats. We were wearing suede shoes from churches of England, suede boots. We were the height of fashion, but only because of my cousin, because we wouldn't have a clue as to how to dress, how to look. So that's New York, 68, 67, 68, and Frank Lucas time.
Now, what's your thoughts on everything that's going on right now with the COVID-19? I know this has kind of put a hold on the film industry and the horror conventions and everything.
You know, I gotta say, it's just this, and I know there are a lot of people who are listening or who will hear this, who are Trump fans, who are voted for him, who like him. I have had an issue with him since the birthday issue. That was enough for me, and I knew at that point he had nothing good to say to me, and I had nothing for him. But this issue, which is what we thought, and it's kind of the domino effect. We knew it was going to happen. Everyone in the country said, "What's going to happen once something tragic, a tragic decision has to be made, or an emergency decision has to be made, and he's going to be thinking about something else, won't want to deal with it. Is thinking of his that it's coming from a different place, or and lo and behold, when this thing was announced with that woman in June or July of the year before, and then when they started talking about it to him in January, it was a Democratic hoax, because he thought the Democrats were trying to find a way to get to him and hurt his presidency again, because the Russians had he didn't want anything to he didn't want any statements or problems that might further make his presidency invalid because of the Russians involved, or his other problems that he was having, that that he didn't win it fair and square. He didn't want that. It's a sore spot for him. It has been. Obama's been a very sore spot for this gentleman. He kind of keeps mentioning Obama. I mean, he talks about Obama more than he does his wife. My God, he's gonna marry the man. So, but it got to a point where this was a problem, and they've said, "Listen, find this, catch this. This is an issue." We've got Susan Rice spent a lot of time with his people, telling them, "Here is the folder, here is the manual, here's the office that we've set up for dealing with pandemics, and We know one will be coming around the corner. We just want to keep you advised. Here's what you should be looking at. We're handing this to you. They decided to ignore it. When it came, he's called it a Democratic hoax. He wouldn't deal with it. It was nothing. It was this, is that. Now we're in a situation where all our world is upside down. The United States right now is the world is never going to be the same for us because we're not like Italy. We're not like Spain. We're not like France. We can't just close our borders. Each state has a border. We're in individual states, and we can't, for this thing to work, we need an administration first that you trusted, administration that you believed, that you weren't lied to, it didn't change from day to day, and an administration that would close this country and shut us down from the East Coast to the West Coast, the entire country, until we got rid of this, and then open us back up. Instead, we have governors decide, I'm going to open up this time. I'm not going to use masks. I don't care about this. We don't have a problem. We're not going to do this. We're going to open up. Everybody was doing their own thing, and you see what it got us. Now we're back, and if it doesn't stop, at this point, if they don't do something, we're going to have to shut down again. What's that going to do to our economy? We can't stand another shutdown. Exactly what we didn't want is probably going to happen or could happen. And now they're trying to ignore it. Now they're ignoring it. It's just, it is, we knew that if something would cross this man's desk, that would be a major issue that could affect our lives in a significant way. How would he react? And this is how he reacted. This is how the administration has reacted, and this is what we have. Now we are completely. I'm sitting at home. Are you sitting at home? Are most of us sitting at home? When some of us are going out, some of us are. But basically, those people that were waving flags and talking about we want our liberty and you want our rights and stuff like that. I agree. Yes, you have your liberty. Yes, this is America. We have our rights. Yes, we are Americans. But nonetheless, there's a certain point where you have to say, what is more important? That we survive for tomorrow, or that we give you a little piece today and then we regret that and go backwards and suffer for it. And now you don't see them waving any flags about rights now that they're starting to look at Arizona, look at Texas. Look at Florida. My God, 15,000 yesterday or something like it, 14,000, whatever the heck it was. Today, maybe, I'm not sure. But it's going on and on and on. And still, even as we speak now, there are people who are going to still say, we don't believe it. Fauci's wrong. He should be fired. We don't believe in science. We don't care about I want my rights still, and it's not going to affect us, and it's only a flu, right? And it doesn't affect us young people, and this is America is there are great things about our country, mostly great, but there are some things about us as Americans that that doesn't mesh with the virus. The virus is not it doesn't just hit a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't hit the young or just the young or the old. It hits us all. And if we are not doing this all together, we're going to suffer. It's just the way it is. We're not calling it because we say, and for somebody to say, I'm not going to do this. I mean, the guy in Florida, he said, why? Why are they playing politics with this? The governor of Texas, why are you playing politics with this? Arizona, why? And the president is not leading. We need a president in these kind of problems. You look for somebody who's going to, you can say, okay, say something great for us. Say something that's going to inspire us. Say something that's going to make us, pull us together and make us all fight this together, and we're going to succeed. You don't get this from this people. You don't get it. You don't get nothing like that from these people. And it's It isn't what we need in the best of times. It's certainly not what we need now. You know, so I want to go see my mother. I'm worried that they won't let me in the state she's in, and the state she's in just turned red. So if I go, I'm going to have to take a test, make sure I don't have it now, before I get on the plane. Take a test when I get off the plane. Maybe go into quarantine before I get to her house. And say, if I can go, and she's 91. You know, so you know what? And this is just this is my little story. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of stories that are worse in this country. And why? We shouldn't be in this position. We shouldn't be in this position. You know, I need Obama to sing Amazing Grace to me. I need to hear it. I need to hear that. I need to hear somebody say, okay, it's going to be all right. And we're going to make it all right. And we're doing everything we can. And this is what we're doing. And we're sticking to it. And we're following the science. We're not picking fights and beating up on people. And we're not starting crap. And we're not lying, saying one thing 1 minute. And 5 minutes later, we're saying something else. And I'm saying one thing, and then you talk to my chief of staff, and they're saying something else the next day, totally different, and they don't know, or 5 or 10 minutes later, or half an hour later. This is crazy, and it's not. It would be crazy under the best of times, but right now, people are dying, people are suffering, and they're not just. I got nieces who are nurses. 3 of them have got the virus. 3. They got it. And, you know, these are young people. They're young. 2 of them are in that early 20s. Early 20s, 21, 22, 23, something like that. One of them is 40. And they all had the virus. I have people and once you get this virus, it's not that if you survive it, that's fine. But when you survive it, it leaves its mark. So you're going to have breathing complications, lung scars, complications with your liver, your kidneys, your heart, your brain. It's going to hit you somewhere, it's going to scar you somewhere. So this is what we're in. This is what we're in for. You know, I just wish everyone out there that's listening, God bless. Do what you can to stay safe, and keep a. We will get through this, but it's going to take all of us together with one plan, led by people who know what the hell they're talking about. You know, not nobody saying it'll just float away. That ain't happening. That's like listening to a fairy tale and you're saying, oh, okay, that's good for the movies, but it's not good for life. This is reality. So that's my thing. Pandemic and stuff. I don't want to just hag on this guy because I could forever. Really.
My whole thing about this is, you know, if you love Halloween and you love horror movies, then you should welcome any opportunity to wear a mask. And forget the virus. Forget the virus. You shouldn't be coughing on anybody to begin with. That's just bad manners. And you should always wash your hands even before this.
What's the problem? You know, what's the big deal? Wear the freaking mask. It doesn't hurt you. It's not a big deal. Wear it. It's for all of us. All of us wear the mask. All of us wash our hands. All of us maintain distance. We all do it at the same time for a certain amount of time. We get the curve down in the country, and then we slowly get it down to a point where we can slowly open up with safety. Like they're doing in France, like they're doing in Spain, like they're doing in Italy. We just have a larger country with independent states all over the place. But we all have to do it at the same time. And we can't just have the governor of Nebraska doing a different thing than the governor of Mississippi. It's just not going to work because people, you know, I had a friend in Tennessee, and everybody knows him. You know, he's very popular down there. But he told me, he said, "We're closed down here, but you know, you drive 5 minutes out of this, out of my county, and they're open. So everybody's driving there. They don't have to wear masks, and they can have dinner and do what they want. So that, you know, come on. Wear a mask if you're horror fans and you and love horror and that will inspire you. Wear the mask. Okay, whatever it takes. I don't care. If you want me to come and scare you, wear the mask. I don't know. Just wear it.
Now, to make COVID night, because it's like 2020 has been like a big horror movie in my mind.
Oh yeah.
And like if aliens would have came down on 4th of July and we'd had Will Smith out fighting them, I would have believed. I mean, 2020, anything could go on. What do you think of all the violence and people not getting along and things like that on top of this?
Oh, well, yeah, all right, I'll tell you. I celebrated my birthday. I'm a leap year baby. All right. And this one I celebrated well. I went to Musso and Frank's. I had the Rolling Stone booth, and I had friends there, and I just ate and drank and had a wonderful time, right? That was February 29th. Okay. The whole thing went south. I said, no, not on my birthday, not on the one. I really rarely celebrate, birthday. It's just not. I'm not a person that said, hey, it's my birthday and it's gonna be my birthday. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm not that kind of guy. You understand? I'm saying, okay, it's birthday. Yeah, I mark it. Okay, got it in my head. Great. Thanks for the things. Everybody send me cards. And I call back and return. But I'm not really great on celebrating. But this one I did. And I celebrate this one, and bingo, immediately. I think that there's. I don't think. I know there's the racial situations going on as well, and I'm not going to spend but a few seconds talking about that. Now I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll give you two reasons. If I can't breathe, mama, I'm dying. Doesn't tell you the story. Or if Rodney King taking those baton hits by the dozens, and the result of that doesn't tell you the story, then I would suggest that anyone who would like to know how I feel about it, about talking about it any longer, I would suggest that they watch Brian Gumbel's Inside Sports on HBO, if you have it. He has a segment about a young African-American man his father was a baseball player, a professional baseball player, and how he was shot, and I think it was in Texas. He was shot in his front yard. And at the end of that segment, he talks about how he feels, Brian Gumbel feels. And I would suggest anyone who would like to know how I feel, look at that, listen to what Brian says afterward, and you get a good idea of what I feel about it. I could go on about this for hours. I am encyclopedia about this stuff, but I don't want to do that with this show. I'm just going to let you do that, and you guys can take it from there. Okay?
Well, we definitely appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us and everything. It's been an honor and a privilege having you on. You've been so generous with your time. Do you have any last words to close us out, Mr. Foree?
Yes, I do. It's difficult, guys, sitting here. I talk to people all the time, and they are not, like a lot of, I'm on Facebook. That's becoming crazy. But I see Twitter. I see a lot of the actors that I know. Some of the other people. Well, you there? Am I still on?
Yeah, if you're still on.
Okay. I see a lot of people that I know, and who are actors, and certainly some of the producers and that kind of thing. And everybody's a little bit, and I talk to friends, and everybody's a little bit tired of the isolation. They really are. People are trying to invent things that are interesting to do. I would suggest find something for you, those who, because I worry that some people are not able to handle this, and it's mentally, it becomes a mental situation where they just can't tolerate it any longer, and they might do something that they may regret or we wouldn't want them to do. So I would suggest that anybody that's having those kind of issues, or get out, take the long walk. Get out and take walks where you can just visually see other things, buildings, count the cars that go by as you're walking, count the birds that you see. Find something to do that takes you away from the isolation. Get away from your house. Don't go, but you don't have to be around so many people. Just, wear your mask, protect yourself, do all the things you want, but go out and walk. Spend some time. If you're near an ocean, or if you're near a forest or something, just look at the trees, deal with nature a little bit. Whatever you can do, find something else to do besides sitting at home and just wondering what you're going to do and dealing and feeling isolated. You're not isolated. You just have to protect yourself and find other things to do. So do that, and I think we'll all be fine. That's it.
Well, we appreciate you. We're here twice a week to hang out with the folks at Talk Horror. So if you guys are feeling a little alone, feel free to come and join the show and hang out with us. You have a great night, Ken. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, Sergeant Moore. I love you, man. Take care of yourself. See you again.
See you soon.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. Bye.